Well, we have had some interest rate drops over the year, but the big thing, the big question, are we actually seeing it affect anything here in the Halifax market? Well, I'm Richard Payne from Halifax Homes and Lifestyles right here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I want to get into some detail behind this because there has definitely been some big rate drops. We've had 4 rate drops in 2024, primarily in the last half since about June. So because of these drops, has it actually had any impact at all on the Halifax housing market and what's really been going on here on the ground here in Halifax? Right, let's get into the history of those rate cuts. It's been 1.25% since June to we're sitting here now in the middle of November. There is likely another rate drop that's going to come in December, probably 1/4 of a basis point. Now, when that happens, all of the major banks have also kind of followed suit with their rate drops as well, which means, yes, the Bank of Canada did their rate drops, but also so did the banks. And what that meant is the first reason that we think that that is going to affect the housing and has certainly increased some of the sales we've found here in Halifax is the fact that mortgages have now become more affordable. If you looked at the average sale price in Halifax of roughly $625,000 across the whole of HRM, all the different houses, I worked out that that would save you approximately $400 since the high that it was in June 24 to where we are today. You would save about $400,000 on a mortgage. And again, let's go into the basics. 20% down payment, average house price of $625,000 across the whole of HRM. That's roughly what you would have saved. Now, $400 is quite a good amount of money to save. So did that actually impact the sales and the prices that we've had here in Halifax? Well, it did affect the sales a little bit. We've had a little bit more, but if you go back and look at a lot of the stats videos that we do every single month at the start, you will see that it's not had a dramatic effect on the pricing. We are still hovering around that kind of 625, 640, 610, somewhere in that range every single month. So no, it's not really had any effect on the actual house pricing. What it has had effect on is the fact that we are seeing more and more buyers actually start looking into the market to actually buy the houses that they're trying to afford. Let's look also at the effect of the lower overall borrowing rate because we're talking about the base rate of Canada dropping by 1.25%. So because it's dropped by 1.25%, that means that also the cost of borrowing in general for construction has gone down by roughly a similar amount. Now, once that goes down, that means that the builders obviously can find things more affordable to go and build the products that they need to build to put housing stock on the market, condominiums, multi-units, single-family homes, to actually get the market started again and start putting new properties, new construction on the market. So interestingly, I also had a quick look because there was an article came out today talking to one of the top builders here in Halifax area about how he's finding the actual market. One of the things he said is that he's not finding it busy. It's steady. But he's also said that there are an awful lot of trade people, the drywallers, the mudders and tapers, the electricians, the plumbers, the roofers, the siding companies, that are all actually ringing him up and asking if he's got business. Which is interesting because that's definitely not what you want to hear, because that means that a lot of those tradespeople are kind of looking towards the winter months and starting to realize that maybe they don't actually have the employment that they need to get them through the winter months to get into the spring. Which kind of goes against a little bit when you look at the fact that the lower borrowing cost should mean more construction. That means actually less construction. And it's also one of the things I looked at the housing starts for October last month. And it was interesting when I looked at those numbers because they show that we are down 75% October 23 to October 24. Which, I mean, that's a massive number, 75% reduction in the number of housing starts that have actually started. The big thing there was certainly the multi-units, the condos, the apartment buildings. The single-family homes tends to be actually fairly steady. Now, it's not a lot. It's only like 53, 55 starts for the month of October compared to about 60 last year. So that's not changed too much in terms of single-family homes. But certainly the apartment buildings, the condo buildings, they are way down. And you can imagine that that stacks up then with the amount of people that will be employed on those projects to be out building and actually working on those. So what the home builder was saying about people ringing him up to try and get work stacks up with the fact that obviously it's these massive condominium and apartment buildings that are not actually starting, breaking ground and actually starting the work. One of the other consequences of the lower interest rate could mean that more people are actually starting to put their houses on the market. Now, we haven't seen a massive influx of people putting their houses on the market, leading to more inventory, because we have seen our amounts of months of inventory go up slightly, our days on market go up slightly from obviously previous months to where we were last month. And that is definitely one of the situations that, yes, a lower interest rate might actually have some effect on the amount of inventory on the market, but we're not really seeing that here in Halifax. The Halifax, Nova Scotia market is a lot more cautious than probably the rest of Canada. So when interest rates change, a lot of our buyers are still actually sitting on the sidelines and kind of deciding what are they going to do. Also, we're heading towards the colder months here in Nova Scotia as well. So, there might be some kind of an effect on there. But it's very interesting when you try to look at, have those rates come down led to more inventory on the market? A little bit, but it's also meant that some of the buyers are sitting on the fence. So therefore, they're not actually eating into that inventory. Hence, we're sitting at about 2.5 months of inventory and kind of moving a little bit more towards a balanced market here in Halifax. Also, one of the effects as well, with obviously another rate announcement coming up shortly, is that a buyer, when they're uncertain, they tend to do nothing. They tend to just wait and sit on the sidelines, and that's definitely one of the other factors that we're seeing here in Halifax, is the fact that the buyers are not rushing into the market. They're not looking at that interest rate going, oh my God, this means I have absolutely got to go and do something. It means that they're watching. It means that they're waiting. One of the other things here in Halifax as well is that we do have kind of a spring market and a fall market. So peaks in the spring market, which is kind of like February, March, April, we do see a lot more listings coming on the market then, which does lead to more people in the buyers starting to go, oh, actually, there's more choice here. Let's go and have a look at a few more houses. So as we see that inventory level build, we will definitely see more people starting to look. And especially in that spring market, people are always looking to start thinking, well, spring market's coming up. Where do I want to have my summer? Where do I want to actually enjoy my outdoor space, etc., etc. So we're certainly seeing that will start definitely in February or March. So if you're looking to put your house on the market, yeah, you might want to just hang on a couple of months and maybe wait until that spring market, or maybe you want to get ahead of the competition and actually start talking in December/January to actually get your market ready. So if you've got any questions, write some comments down below, send me a message and let me know what your particular situation is. What are your thoughts on this Halifax market? Because it's certainly been a changing year for the year of 2024. And it's probably going to be a little bit the same in 2025, although there are a lot of people across Canada saying that 2025 is going to ramp up and pick up dramatically. Immigration is definitely under a slowdown. We're not seeing as many people moving from other countries to here. Elections coming up and all of those good things as well. But hit us up with a comment down below and let us know what your thoughts are on this market.